Hey guys, so I've already kind of assembled my fly rod, but normally fly rods come into 4 or 2 pieces, and so what you try to do when you want to set them up, when you want to set the rod up, you want to make sure that the eye holes are matching up in line with your fly reel, so then the line is able to go through the eye holes properly without any snagging or, friction. So you just kind of simply put them together. There'll be a male part and a female part, and you're able to just push them together, and they should go in pretty nicely. You don't want it to be on there too tight because it's a real pain to remove them or disassemble. And then you'll have your reel all set up. If you guys want a recommendation of a fly shop that will spool up your fly reel, I can give that to you. But you'll just start taking out some line, enough line that you can funnel through the eye holes. I normally set my reel up on the actual bed of the truck or bed of the car. You don't want to have any sand in the reel or anything like that. I normally have a U-shaped loop that goes through. It helps you string the line through the eye holes normally. So you just keep on doing that. Keep on doing it until you're at the end. I keep on stripping it out from the reel. Give me some more slack. Then you just keep on pulling it all out, all the way to the monofilament line, and then you're all set to put a fly on. Thank you. Okay, so I've now attached the fly to the monofilament line. As you can see, you have your fly fishing floating line that's thicker, as you can see, Holly shows you. Then at the bottom end of that, at the tail end of that floating line, it's normally called floating line, you'll have that monofilament typical line that you associate fishing with. And then you come down, and at a later time, I'll show you, in a later video, I'll show you how to tie on a fly. But there it is. This is my dry fly. It's called a mayfly imitation. So let's go down to the river and catch some fish.
Wow, is this going to be viral on YouTube? Or?
We're done. Just quit it right now. Quit it. Are we good? Okay, so now we're at the river, and I wanted to show you the stream flow. As you can see, follow the tip of my fly fishing rod. You have faster moving water that then comes in contact with the slower moving water. You see that right there? And fish love to stay in that buffer zone, right in where the faster moving water is meeting the slower moving water. Reason being is because fish have to have water flowing through their gills, but they don't want to continue to swim all day because that reduces their energy level, or reduces their, they get tired eventually. So they want to be able to stay stagnant, but with water still rushing through their gills, but also have a source of food, because the flies or other insects will come down, follow that faster moving stream of water, and then fish will then go from there to the fly. Okay, good. When you're starting out casting, and if you're fishing a small stream like this, all you really need is this amount of line. You don't need a lot of line out. You can see it's about 10 feet of line. So what's important is you want to have some of that floating line out of the end of the fly rod, because it'll keep the monofilament from recircling back through the rod. So it weighs down the fly. Come closer. So I normally put my middle finger on the fly line up against the cork handle, keep it from moving so that the line can't move down. It's not going anywhere. I have the fly in my hand, and so what I normally do is really hold it like this, and it's a simple motion, and you just try to keep all the line off the water. The only thing you want to have is that fly on top of the water. You don't want to have any other line on the water, because if you do, for an example, you have multiple currents in this small body of water. If you have multiple currents, and you have all your lines in the water, the current will pull and push the line, which will then make your fly look artificial or unnatural. It'll make it look like it's dragging along the water body, and you don't want that. So this is called, the style that we're using right now is called high sticking, which means, like I said, you're keeping all the line off the water, but you're keeping the fly in the water. So the line doesn't have any interaction with the current other than just the fly does. Okay. And then as you cast, make sure you follow along the water current. You don't want to cast and leave your rod stagnant, because then you'll have drag. Then you'll be dragging the fly across the water surface. You want to make sure that the fly rod is following the current down the stream, just like that. And this is the most effective way to fish a small stream like this, called high sticking. Okay, all right, so if you can see that boulder in the water, it creates a pocket downstream of it, and that's where fish love to be at. So you want to be able to just high stick, don't have much line out, and aim your fly right behind that rock. That's where the fish will be at. They don't want to be in fast-moving water all the time. They might have to swim through the fast-moving water, but they like to hang out and feed behind the larger boulders. And just keep on casting. I would, under normal scenarios, I would fish this hole for a few minutes, and if you don't get a bite, I'd then just keep on moving upstream. Usually fish will face upstream, so if you're fishing from downstream to upstream, you can catch them by surprise and they won't see you. They're normally facing upstream. Keep on doing that. Okay. When you're normally fishing a stream, you want to be able to cast upstream under normal scenarios. Reason being is, if you cast upstream, you're parallel with the water current, and you're able to keep your line in that same flow, current flow. So as you cast, the fly lands on the water surface. It's a